What is up, everybody? It's Animac here for Anime Uproar, and the battle to the death between Shoto Todoroki and his villain brother has just reached its boiling point. The entire Kamino Ward is now on fire as Shoto's flames clash with Dabi's bluer flames. And it looks like Shoto has taken the responsibility of killing his villain brother upon his own shoulders. This is a massive turning point in the story, and it will set the stage for the rest of this epic war arc, so let's get into it. You guys know how this works. If you like our videos and you want to see more, just leave a quick like and comment. It only takes a second, but it really helps us with that YouTube algorithm. And of course, subscribing and hitting that notification bell is a completely free but very important way of directly supporting the channel. I also recently made a video about what a potential MHA time skip would look like, so if that's something you're interested in, definitely check it out after this video, link in the description. Finally, this video will of course contain Boku no Hero manga spoilers, so please proceed with caution, you have been warned. The latest chapter focuses on the intense battle to the death between Shoto and Dabi, and the complex and dramatic history of the Todoroki family which looms heavily over the entire chapter. We started off with an explanation of Endeavor's special move, Flashfire Fist. In order to perform this move, the user of a strong fire quirk must raise their internal temperature and accumulate as much heat as possible. They then release that heat in extremely powerful bursts. The technique was initially perfected by a young Endeavor, and it is believed to be the strongest fire move. And not just Endeavor's strongest move, but the strongest move that any fire-based quirk user can do. At least that's how I interpreted this passage. After he developed this technique, Endeavor felt like he had attained the full potential of his abilities. After all, he created a move that literally every other fire quirk user will want to emulate. He was a pioneer. But due to the legacy that he left for his children, the heat from those flames would one day warp the future that he had dreamed of. It is a pretty poetic beginning to the chapter, and we are then thrust back into the blazing inferno of the ongoing battle between Dabi and Shoto. The heat is now so intense that the All Might statue in Kamino literally begins to melt as Shoto's fire clashes with Dabi's blue flames. Dabi looks like he is completely out of control. He looks like a wild beast consumed by his own hatred and his own flames. And Shoto is clearly concerned about where this battle will ultimately lead. Not only is Shoto himself in danger, but Dabi's massive flames are quickly becoming a threat to the entire city. Shoto also notices that the rate at which Dabi is raising his internal temperature is just not normal. It's not something that any regular human should be able to do. And this again seems to back up my theory that Dabi is actually a human Nomu hybrid. Since we know that he doesn't have a natural resistance to flames like Shoto and Endeavor do, he should not be able to withstand such heat. The fact that he can withstand it and keep functioning tells me that the procedure which was used to heal him after that fire on Sekoto Peak probably turned him into a human Nomu hybrid. And that is why he can still survive and function even though a normal human would already be dead by now. Even though Dabi is completely out of control, Shoto vows that he will be the one to stop him. As I said earlier, Dabi is not just a danger to Shoto. If this continues, he will endanger the entire neighborhood or maybe even the entire city because his gigantic fire could begin to spread from building to building. On the other hand, Dabi proclaims that he has been preparing for years for this moment, the moment that he murders Shoto. In the meantime, Dabi has become completely desensitized to pain, and he has been practicing Endeavor's special moves, including Flashfire Fist. But because Dabi's flames are even stronger than Endeavor's, his attacks are even more powerful and also harder to predict and control. We see an example of this when Dabi uses Endeavor's attack, Hell Spider, an attack in which Endeavor produces a web of fire that emerges from his fingers. But Dabi's Hell Spider is much bigger and wilder. After all, when Endeavor uses the attack, he is trying to keep it contained so as not to harm any innocent bystanders. But of course, Dabi doesn't care about any of that. He unleashes the attack without any restraint because he doesn't care who gets hurt in the process. That is exactly what makes Dabi so dangerous. Not only are his flames more powerful than Endeavor's, but he himself is completely unstable and unhinged, and he doesn't value human life at all. Endeavor's sidekicks help Shoto contain Dabi's flames, but this attack was only the beginning. As Dabi pounces on Shoto and sends him flying with a fiery punch to the face, He rails against Shoto for having the perfect body and the perfect training environment and perfect everything, but still being a coddled child who clings to others. Dabi is unleashing attack after devastating attack on Shoto, who is clearly on the defensive at this point in the battle, and he looks like he's in serious trouble. Dabi calls Shoto a puppet, but a puppet who can't even do its job correctly. Finally, as he hits Shoto again, Dabi declares that his little brother will never become a hero. Dabi then fire punches Shoto straight into a building, and he seems to have expected this attack to basically end the fight. However, Dabi is surprised to see that Shoto was able to neutralize the attack. As he emerges from the fiery rubble, Shoto says that Dabi has a point. In some ways, Shoto is a loser who took a long time to figure out exactly who he is and what he wants to do. He went from despising his father and refusing to use the fire side of his quirk, to having a slightly more positive relationship with his father, to now seemingly trying to repair his relationship with his father and bring his entire family back together. But Shoto says that now that he knows that his older brother Toya was actually observing him from afar, rather than just obsessing over Endeavor all this time, he actually feels happy. I mean, it's clear that Shoto really wishes that things were different. He really wishes that he didn't have to fight his own brother to the death. But unfortunately, he knows that he has no other choice. As much as he'd love for his brother to just become a part of the family again, he knows that Dabi in his current mental state will never do this. And so Shoto has vowed that he himself will stop Dabi once and for all. Back when the heroes were making plans for this war arc, Shoto insisted on being the one tasked with fighting Dabi, and that is because he felt that he was best suited for the job. He also developed a new move specifically for this fight, a move that could be the Dabi Killer. Shoto then explains that yes, their household was hell and their father was insane, but at the end of the day, Dabi is the one who willingly chose to walk the path of murder. Dabi can't put that decision on Endeavor or anyone else. He made that choice for himself, and he will now have to answer for that decision. Shoto screams out at Dabi, "Don't you ever dare to steal the lives of innocent people who had nothing to do with your downfall." He then continues by saying that if Dabi wants to take out his pain on someone, he should do it on them, the Todorokis, instead. A fierce and determined Shoto then launches his new super move, Flashfire Fist Phosphorus, right at Dabi. And the sheer power and heat of this attack looks like it's about to disintegrate Dabi's entire body. And that is how this chapter ends, with the battle to the death between two overpowered brothers reaching its climax. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait quite a while to see how it all turns out, because MHA is now going on a multi-week break. But even though the break thing sucks, this chapter was just amazing. The artwork portraying this clash of two incredible burning fires and burning desires was next level. So kudos to Horikoshi and the entire MHA manga staff. This battle could actually be a way bigger moment in the story than people realize, and that's what I want to talk about right now. I mean, of course, Deku and Shigaraki are the main stars of this war arc, and the final showdown will go down between the two of them. But we also can't underestimate the importance of this fight. Dabi may actually die here. The fact that he has gone berserk and is scorching his own body just because he wants to kill Shoto is a pretty massive death flag. And I mean, throughout the story, he has been portrayed as a villain who can't be redeemed. He has no remorse for his actions, he is disturbed and obsessed with revenge to the point that he refuses to listen to reason, and he just continues to hurt more and more innocent people without a second thought. Unless something changes drastically, Dabi will not give up his villain ways at any cost, and the only way to stop him will be to kill him, or to let him kill himself by having his own flames consume him. Now, we are in the middle of a war arc, and also in the final act of the story, so a major villain like Dabi dying at this point wouldn't be a huge shock. That said, if Shoto really is the one who is forced to literally kill his own brother, it will be a character-defining moment for him and for the entire story. The UA students have been through a lot, that's for sure, but they haven't been in a situation where they have to literally kill someone, and certainly not a member of their own family. Shoto showed himself to be both brave and noble when he agreed to take responsibility for defeating Dabi. But if this battle ends in Dabi's death, then Shoto will never be the same again, and neither will the story. Personally, I think that Shoto killing Dabi or Dabi dying in this fight as a result of his own flames would be good for the entire series. I say that because it would make the story feel darker and more realistic. Not every villain can be saved, and if a villain is out of control and determined to keep hurting innocent people, killing him may be the only option and also a necessity. Seeing Shoto and the other students having to come to terms with this would add a new dimension to the MHA world, and it would make everything feel a lot more gritty and more real. Now, of course, Dabi could come back after Shoto's attack and kill Shoto instead, but I don't see that happening. Shoto has been through a lot to get here, and he is a fan favorite, so if anyone dies in this battle, it will be Dabi. And if Dabi doesn't die and he ends up atoning for his sins somehow, personally I think that would be unrealistic given what we know about his warped character, but we'll have to wait and see. What do you guys think? Did Shoto just kill Dabi, or will Dabi survive this? Will Shoto eventually be forced to kill Dabi, or will Dabi kill Shoto instead? Or do you think that they could both survive this fight? Definitely leave your thoughts down in the comments below. You know I always love hearing from you. If you're interested in more MHA content right now, check out my video on a potential MHA time skip, link in the description. Don't forget to leave a like to help out with that YouTube algorithm, and of course if you're not subscribed yet, make this the video that you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You really have to go through the trouble of subscribing, hitting that bell, and then selecting the option that says all. If you don't do that, you're still gonna miss a ton of our videos, even if you are subscribed. It's just how YouTube works. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at Anime Uproar. I want to give a big thank you to all of our Anime Uproar patrons for making videos like this one possible. Special thank you to Kyle Salisbury. He is an absolute mad lad and a disciple of Lord Twigo himself. And I can't forget all of our The One tier patrons, the ones who stand above all other clans, including Alpha Sigma, Pate Heffa, the Red-Haired Fox, Hinokami and Water, the Toasted Chi, Corey McGowan, the Fallen Chosen, Spidey Leftonel, Tungsten Tarkus, and Baked Buddhist. Finally, thank you also to our Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, Angel Cruz, Alicia Octor, Bonnie Parks, Fatboy Games, Kaido Might Be a Duck, Jessica Rabbit, Olivania, and Mando. If you guys enjoy our videos and you feel that they provide value for you, consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a single $1 will give you access to our patron-exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these amazing people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.